Welcome, everybody. I'd like to wish you all well and wish everybody a happy new year. We're going to begin our very first city council meeting January 4th, 2021 with our new council, of course, the new council of 2021 and 2022. That would be Nick Losey and Dave Swanberg will be joining our council. So thank you, gentlemen, for stepping forward. I appreciate it. At this meeting, I'd like to call the meeting to order, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, Council, we will now begin with swearing in of our. Wait, we're going to back up a little. We're going to begin with the swearing in of our two council members, and of course myself. And Jasper, I will begin this.
Yes, Sean, I have the verbiage from the oath of office that I included in the agenda packet. If you would, please read this, and then when you get a chance, swing by City Hall and sign your oath of office, and then we'll put it in your file. So I'll leave it up to you just to read this publicly, and then we can move on to the council members.
Okay, I got one word that's cut off here, so bear with me. I've got some verbiage in front of it. I, Sean Kirby, the elected mayor of Sueur, of the city of Sueur, do affirm that I will faithfully perform the duties of my elected office, and I will support and honor to the best of my ability all applicable laws of the city of Sueur County, and the Constitution of the United States and Minnesota, as well as any appropriate policies and procedures adopted by the Sueur City Council. I hereby, through this oath of office, affirm that I will perform the duties of the public trust in a fair, equitable, and ethical manner, benefiting the dignity and responsibilities of the office to the best of my judgment and ability for my role on the Sueur City Council, as well as any boards, commissions, and other appointed positions. So help me God.
We'll move on to the next one. So Nick is up.
I, Nick Losey, an elected city council member of the city of Sueur, do affirm that I will faithfully perform the duties of my elected office and will support and honor to the best of my ability all applicable laws of the city of Sueur County, and the Constitution of the United States of Minnesota, as well as any appropriate policies or procedures adopted by the Sueur City Council. I hereby, through this oath of office, affirm that I will perform the duties of this public trust in a fair, equitable, and ethical manner, benefiting the dignity and responsibilities of the office to the best of my judgment and ability for my role on the Sueur City Council, as well as any boards, commissions, or other appointed positions.
Well done, Nick. Thank you.
I, Dave Swanberg, an elected city council member of the city of Sueur, do affirm that I will faithfully perform the duties of my elected office and will support and honor to the best of my ability all applicable laws of the city of Sueur County, and the Constitution of the United States and Minnesota, as well as any appropriate policies or procedures adopted by the Sueur City Council. I hereby, through this oath of office, affirm that I will perform the duties of this public trust in a fair, equitable, and ethical manner, benefiting the dignity and responsibilities of the office to the best of my judgment and ability for my role on the Sueur City Council, as well as any boards, commissions, or other appointed positions.
Well done, Councilman Swanberg. Thanks again, Councilman Losey. Congratulations, gentlemen. We're delighted to have you as part of this council and have you aboard. At this time, we will move on to the approval of the agenda, which I'd like to entertain any motions for approval or discussion.
So moved, Member Sullivan.
Second, Sullivan. Seconded by Councilman Croghan. Thank you. At this time, we'll take a roll, if that's okay, Administrator Krugel?
Yes, sir. I'll go through the roll call. Councilmember Krogman,
Aye.
Councilmember Lozey,
Here. Aye.
Councilmember Schleter,
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan,
Aye.
Councilmember Swanberg,
Aye.
and Mayor Kirby.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Moving on to the consent agenda, there are, I will kind of explain how the consent agenda works. All items on the consent agenda are considered routine and have been made available to the city council at least 2 days in advance of the meeting. The items will be enacted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member or citizen requests so, in which event the item will be removed from the agenda and considered in a normal sequence. Do you want to kind of review some of these with us, Administrator Krugel?
Yes, sir, I would like to. So agenda item 5A, the meeting date notice, that we do this annually to satisfy open meeting law requirements. So we're officially noticing all of our normal, regularly scheduled meetings for city council. This isn't the case necessarily for any of our boards and commissions. For 2022, the idea will be that we do the same thing for those, but this is a good tool that we can use and publish so that everybody in the public, city council knows when board and commission meetings are through 2021. Agenda item 5B, designate bank signees. This one removes the former mayor and adds the new mayor into as an authorized signer. So on the payroll runs that we have, myself and the mayor sign those checks, and they're designated signees. The item C is designate official depositories. So we have to designate official depositories or banks that we use. We use Hometown Bank, Cornerstone Bank, First Farmers and Merchants Bank, and then the Minnesota Municipal Market Fund. So this would authorize us to officially designate those depositories. And then the last one, 5D, is to designate our official newspaper. We have to do so basically so that we have a place to notice meetings, notice public hearings, things of that nature. So we designate the Sueur County News, which is our local newspaper. That's all I have on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Administrator Krugel. Any questions or discussions on this consent agenda by any of the council members, please? Anything? If not, I will entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Schleter, so moved.
Councilmember Schleter.
Sullivan.
Second. Councilmember Sullivan seconded. This time we'll take a vote if we could, Administrator Krugel.
Yeah, yes, sir. Councilmember Krogman,
Aye.
Councilmember Lozey,
Aye.
Councilmember Schleter,
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan,
Aye.
Councilmember Swanberg,
Aye.
and Mayor Kirby.
Aye.
Very good. Motion passes.
Thank you. Item number 6, moving on to public comment. If you wish to participate in the public comment, you must sign up prior to the commencement of the meeting. Negative remarks about city staff or employees is not allowed. You will have time, a limit of 5 minutes to comment. The total public comment period shall be 30 minutes for non-agenda items and 30 minutes per agenda item. Disruptive and disorderly behavior will not be tolerated. Do you see anybody at this time? Administrator Krugel.
Mayor Kirby, or anybody in the public, if you would like to participate in public comment, please raise your hand using the little raise hand module function on your module. I'm not seeing anybody raise their hands right now. We'll give them a few more seconds to be able to, but I'm not seeing anybody at the moment.
All right, we'll wait just a few more seconds, then we will close public comment.
All right. Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody raising their hand.
Okay. we'll move on then. At this time, we'll close the public comment portion of the meeting. We'll move on to the regular agenda at this time. And we'll begin with 7A, declaring my city council seat vacant.
Yes.
Administrator Kugel, you want to go through a couple things with us?
Yep. Thank you, Mayor Kirby. Yeah, so this is a formality to having a council member with an active seat with a term that hasn't ended yet move into a different seat as mayor. What we have is a vacancy created on the city council due to the election of Sean Kirby as the mayor of Sueur. There's two parts to this. I kind of have them separated into two separate action items. Part one, city council must declare a vacancy on the city council via resolution. I did send out that resolution this morning or afternoon, early afternoon. This is in accordance to the city charter section 2.05 that we have to do this via resolution. So I did include that resolution. It basically just it says that a vacancy has been created by Sean Kirby being elected to the mayor of Sueur. So that's the first part, and I'm looking for a motion to approve that resolution R2021-001, declaration of vacancy on city council. And then the second part, I think after we actually declare the vacancy, I'm confident we will, is the process to fill the vacancy. And I know I've had some conversations with council members and the mayor about the process, and I think we'll have a healthy discussion about that. And it's important to define the process, and then we can start down the path of filling that vacancy. So first things first, what I'm looking for is a motion to approve the resolution R2021-001, declaration of vacancy on city council. I'll entertain any questions you may have about that first request.
Before we entertain a motion, I just want some clarity there. My council seat has 2 years left on it, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Any questions or comments at all? Otherwise, we will declare that seat open through a motion and seconded, and we'll vote on that. Do we have a motion?
Mayor Kirby, Member Sullivan, I'd go ahead and make that motion to approve resolution R2021-001.
Thank you, Councilman Sullivan. We have a second.
Schluter, second.
Thank you, Councilmember Schluter. It's been seconded. Would you be so kind, Administrator Krugel, to take a vote on that, please?
Yes, sir. And just a point of order. I think if there's any discussion, now would be the time to have that discussion if you wanted to ask, and then we could vote. So if you could ask if there's some discussion or any discussion, and then move on to the vote, and then I can move on to the vote.
Certainly. Any discussion on this matter at all? Any questions? Otherwise, I would send it back to you, Administrator Krugel, for a vote.
Thank you, Mayor Kirby. Council Member Krogman.
Aye.
Council Member Lozey.
Aye.
Council Member Schluter.
Aye.
Council Member Sullivan.
Aye.
Council Member Swanberg.
Aye.
And Mayor Kirby.
Aye.
Very good. So if I may, Mayor Kirby, the second part of this process is to define a process to fill the vacancy. Previously used process, mimicking it after 2 vacancies that we filled in the last 3 years. There's an application period. City Council reviews those applications, and then City Council performs an interview, a public interview of the applicants, and then there's potential appointment after that interview process. Mayor Kirby and I were speaking today. And Mayor Kirby, feel free to chime in. You would like to propose an alternate process, and this is just to help discuss or facilitate a discussion. But the candidate would be appointed that after Mayor Kirby would do the vetting and propose a candidate to City Council would have the ultimate say in if that person would be appointed or not at that July 11th meeting. I've heard from some council members that expediting the process may be desirable. This is an alternate process that we could look at. I know I think Councilmember Sullivan has also talked to me about an alternate process to look at, and this is good to talk these things through. So we're looking the staff is looking for direction as far as how to proceed with the vacancy that we have on City Council. And I'm not sure if Councilmember Sullivan would like to chime in on the kind of maybe third option that he talked about.
Mayor Kirby, Member Sullivan.
Go ahead.
So my proposal would look at, because I agree, I think we need to speed up the process. Open the vacancy for applications tomorrow. Close that 2 weeks from tomorrow, which would be the 19th. If there's more than 5 applicants, Personnel and Budget Committee would take a look at it that week. Meeting, take a look at it, narrow it down to 5 applicants. And then all applicants be available on the 25th for our meeting. And we appoint on the 25th for starting the first meeting in February.
Thank you. I want to reiterate a little bit what Administrator Krugel talked about a little bit ago. My thought was the last time we filled this seat, my feeling was it felt a little bit awkward and odd the way we did it. We took in applications. We had 3 applicants. They all appeared before the City Council. Councilmember Schlueter was a part of that. I just didn't care for the way the process was done. And then we all selected one that after a long interview process. And with all due respect, Councilmember Schlueter, we picked the right person. Don't take this personally. But I feel like if we did it a different way and had the executive branch select somebody and have the council approve it, it would expedite things a little and just take a little bit of the awkwardness out of this process. You look at the way things are done at the federal level when a Senate seat opens, that seat is filled by a governor. He selects somebody and then they're ratified by their peers. That's the way it's done at the federal level. I'd like to see it done at this level. And from my understanding, Jasper, there's nothing in the Charter Commission stating how this is to be done for our community. Am I correct?
Yeah, Mayor Kirby, that is correct. There is no defined process in the charter, but it is up to the City Council as far as how they would like to. So it needs to be something that is agreeable. It doesn't necessarily need to be voted on as far as the process goes, but it just has to be something everybody's agreeable with.
And lastly, I just want to say, this process that I'm discussing, it takes a little bit of the pressure off the rest of us. I mean, it puts a little more pressure on me, but yet you will all be involved in this with some type of vote on whoever my selection is. That way, we don't have anybody that kind of walks away a little bit upset or feels bad that they even try to become a part of the process when they go through all this interview process online. So I feel it's the most. I feel it would benefit us all to allow me to select somebody with my judgment, and then have you all review that selection and vote on that. That's my proposal.
Mayor Kirby, this is Councilmember Krugman. May I speak?
Yes, please.
I would want, excuse me, I would favor the entire council hearing from all potential candidates and having them interviewed publicly. I do not want one person screening and picking. I could live with the Personnel and Budget Committee screening people. I don't have any idea how many candidates we might have, but I believe that at some point, the people who are seriously being considered need to be interviewed by the entire council. In other words, I do not want one person screening.
Mayor, this is Member Schlueter.
Yes, please, Councilmember Schleter.
I also agree with what Newell just said, but I like what Marvin had to put forward too. I sent something to Jasper a few times, wondering if we could expedite this, but we do have a weak mayor system. Everyone on the council has an equal say in this. We all need to hear it. But anything we can do to expedite it, I would look at that. I do like what Marvin brought forward.
This is Councilmember Krogman. Let me say, I also agree with Councilmember Sullivan's expedited timeline.
Okay, we have the alternate process that I have listed there on the screen in front of you. I would entertain any motions that anybody wants to propose.
Mayor Kirby, Member Sullivan.
Yes.
I would go ahead and make a motion that we open the application process tomorrow, close it on the 19th. If there's more than 5 people, PB&C will have a meeting after the 19th before the 25th, and then have the applicants ready for interview on the 25th and appoint that night.
Schleter, second.
It's been made, it's been seconded. You want to repeat that one more time, or did you get that, Jasper?
I did. I have it written down here. Application period starts tomorrow and goes to the 19th. If there's more than 5 applications, then personnel and budget will meet sometime as close to the 19th as we can, I would recommend. And then basically invite 5 people back to city council if that's the case on the 25th meeting.
We've had a motion for that. It's been seconded. I think at this time we'll take a vote on that then.
Yes, sir.
Point of order, I think you need to ask for discussion.
Sorry. Thank you, Councilmember Sullivan. Any discussions or questions for Councilmember Sullivan with his motion?
This is Member Schleter. Would the Personnel and Budget Committee have any problems doing that? They'd be able to meet it in a timely manner if there are more than 5.
Administrator Krugel, you want to answer that?
Well, yeah, technically we haven't appointed the Personnel and Budget Committee, but the committee will consist of Mayor Kirby, Mayor Kirby, Councilmember Krogman, Councilmember Sullivan. I think we could work something out if we had to do a virtual meeting. I think we could be flexible with the time. So yes, I think we could make it work.
Thank you for clarifying that. Thank you for your motion, Councilmember Sullivan. Any other questions before we vote? Discussion? Otherwise, I'll turn it over to Administrator Krugel to take a roll.
Thank you, Mayor Kirby. Councilmember Krogman.
Aye.
Councilmember Lozey.
Aye.
Councilmember Schleter.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Swanberg.
Aye.
Mayor Kirby.
Okay.
All right, motion passes. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Moving on to item 7B, board and commissions, vacancies and appointments. Administrator Krugel.
Thank you, Mayor Kirby, members of City Council. We do have some board and commissions that have vacancies on them for this year with some terms that ended at the end of 2020 or at the end of 2020. The Airport Commission has 2 vacancies and we've received 1 application. Jack Roberts, his application was included in the packet. We have a recent, very recent resignation from the EDA Brian Farr, Representative Farr now has resigned from the EDA. We haven't had much time to market that position, but that we do have a vacancy there with a term that ends in 2021, and we have not received any applications, but we will be actively marketing that. And when we get applications in, we'll bring those to City Council. Our PAC has 2 vacancies, both with terms ending in 2023. We received an application from Judith Jones that was included in the packet, and I also did receive an application from Johnny Favalis, and that application was sent out this morning to the City Council for consideration tonight. We do have 2 vacancies on the HRA. The HRA is a group that's formed by the City Council. We actually appoint the members to it, and we work with the executive director of the HRA to get those positions filled. We have 2 applications, one from former council member Mark Huntington, who's been on the HRA, and then Jack King, who's been on the HRA for some time as well. And the recommendation is for, the vacancy number 2 is actually ending in 2025. I just saw that and caught that. Let me change that real quick. And vacancy 1 is in 2024. So the recommendation is that Mark Huntington is appointed to that first vacancy ending in 2024, and Jack King is appointed to that second vacancy that ends in 2025. Those are the board and commission vacancies that we have received applications for. So we will have a vacancy in the airport commission and a vacancy in the EDA, but all other boards and commissions, other than the comprehensive plan action team, which we'll have a discussion at the City Council retreat, kind of about that board and commission, because we are having difficulties having people apply to that one. But we really will have 2 vacancies on our boards and commissions, one in the airport commission, one in the EDA, but everything else should be full. So what we're looking for, and you can either choose to do this in one fell swoop or do individuals. I've constructed a motion to Jack Roberts to the Airport Commission, Judith Jones and Johnny Favalis to the Recreation and Parks Advisory Committee, and Mark Huntington and Jack King to the HRA with their respective terms. So those are what we have for applications. City Council can choose to not appoint somebody to a seat. So don't. I hope it's not presumptuous that I crafted a resolution or a motion language, but this is just as an example so that the terminology is clear. So with that, I'll entertain any questions you may have about the appointment process or the application process. I know there's a couple of the individuals that are potentially going to be appointed that are available if there are any questions. So with that, I'll entertain any questions.
I think you've got some good, strong candidates there, Administrator Krugel, and I think they will all do a real good job. I know almost all of them. So if there aren't any questions, can we proceed ahead with the vote on that?
Mayor Kirby, Member Sullivan, I'd go ahead and make the motion as written.
Schleter, second.
And Councilmember Sullivan makes the motion and Councilmember Schleter seconded. You want to go ahead and take the vote, Administrator Krugel?
Yeah, if you could just check and see if there's any discussion as a formality, Mayor Kirby, that would be great.
Okay. Any discussion, gentlemen or councilman? Any other comments, questions?
All right.
Otherwise, Administrator Krugel, please.
Thank you, Mayor Kirby. Councilmember Krogman,
Aye.
Councilmember Lozey,
Aye.
Councilmember Schleter,
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan,
Aye.
Councilmember Swanberg,
Aye.
and Mayor Kirby.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Looking forward to working with all of them. Moving on to item 7C, Council. We will move on to item 7C. That'd be the 2021 City Council positions and board and commission appointments. Administrator Krugel?
Mayor Kirby, members of the City Council. Annually, the mayor appoints City Council members to various boards and commissions. As a point of clarity, per City Code, the Airport Commission representative, which is also the chair of the Airport Commission, and the President Pro Tem of the City Council are approved by the City Council. So I'll go through the list of these individuals and kind of the assignments or the boards and commissions that the council member is going to be associated with. At the end of this, what we'd be looking for is a motion to approve Newell Krogman as the Airport Commission representative, and also Newell Krogman as the President Pro Tem of the Sueur City Council. So I'll go through this list just quickly. President Pro Tem Newell Krogman, Airport Commission Newell Krogman, EDA Marvin Sullivan and Dave Swanberg, Fire Commission Marvin Sullivan, Planning Commission Newell Krogman, Comprehensive Plan Action Team Mayor Kirby and myself, Minnesota River Valley Transit Marvin Sullivan and Nick Losey, with an alternate being Dave Swanberg. Personnel and Budget Committee, Sean Kirby or Mayor Kirby, council members Sullivan and Krogman. Recreation and Parks Advisory Commission, Marvin Sullivan. That position is also the vice chair of RPAC. And then the ex officio would be Nick Losey. Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities, Newell Krogman or Councilmember Krogman, with the alternate being Councilmember Schlueter. The Community Education Advisory Council, Nick Losey. Highway 169 Coalition, Councilmember Schlueter, and the alternate being Nick Losey or Councilmember Losey. Housing and Redevelopment Authority City Council rep, Councilmember Schlueter. And just a note of that position as the council member or as a council representative of the HRA goes through the term of the council member that's appointed. So that'll go to the end of Councilmember Schlueter's term. MMPA, the Minnesota Municipal Power Agency, Councilmember Krogman and myself being the alternate. Region 9 Development Commission, Councilmember Schlueter with Councilmember Swanberg being the alternate. Ridgeview LeSueur Medical Board, Mayor Kirby, and then the Charter Commission Council representative is Councilmember Swanberg. So big list, lots of duties. Keep in mind that once the seventh member of the City Council is appointed, there will be some shifting of these duties, and we'll look at this again as we'll have to insert that seventh council member into the mix of all these different boards and commissions. So basically the 6 members that are on the City Council right now are doing the work of 7. So it will get a little lighter for some if it is heavier than what you expected. So that's the recommendation. So those are appointed by the mayor, other than the President Pro Tem and the Airport Commission Council rep. So what we're looking at tonight is 2 separate motions. One motion to appoint Newell Krogman as the City Council representative and chair of the Airport Commission, and then a second motion to appoint Newell Krogman as the City Council President Pro Tem. I can entertain any questions. Mayor Kirby can also chime in as I've worked with him on this list. There isn't much change from the previous year for a lot of the council members, but obviously the new council members, this is new territory. So I can answer questions if there are any.
I just want to make a real quick comment to our new council members. I know sometimes this seems a little overwhelming and you probably don't even understand what some of these commissions do, or maybe even completely understand what your commission does. But my recommendation and my hopes are that you gentlemen will find the time to go to these meetings. If you miss a meeting, it isn't the end of the world. All we kind of ask is just try to get caught up to speed with things. It's just a way of having good representation of our council with all the different commissions that are taking place in our community, and that way there's good information coming back to the council. So again, don't let it overwhelm you. Just do your best you can. I know you're all busy with your own careers, your families, and things like that. If you miss a meeting, it isn't the end of the world. So, just try to do whatever you can do. Ask some questions with people who are on these commissions and find out when they meet. Some of these commissions meet once every 3 months. Some are once a month, and usually they don't last more than an hour or so. With that, I'll let anybody else make any comments if they wish. Any questions? Discussion? Otherwise, at this time, are we prepared to take a vote on the first action request here?
Mayor Kirby, I'll go ahead and make the motion to appoint Councilmember Krogman as the city council rep and chair of the airport commission.
Thank you, Councilmember Sullivan. Do we have a second?
Schleter, second.
Thank you, Councilmember Schleter. Would you like to take a vote, Administrator Krugel?
Yes, sir. Council Member Krogman.
I'm going to abstain since my name happens to be there.
Very good. Council Member Lozey.
Aye.
Council Member Slater.
Aye.
Council Member Sullivan.
Aye.
Council Member Swanberg.
Aye.
And Mayor Kirby.
Aye.
All right, motion passes 5-0. One abstention.
Mayor Kirby, Member Sullivan, I'd go ahead and make the motion to appoint Councilmember Krogman as council president.
Thank you, Councilmember Sullivan. I was just going to read that. Thank you. We've got a motion made from Councilmember Sullivan. We have a second.
Schleter, second.
Thank you, Councilmember Schleter. Administrator Krugel, would you like to take that? Roll.
Yes, sir. Council Member Krogman.
Again, I abstain for this one.
Very good. Council Member Lozey.
Aye.
Council Member Slater.
Aye.
Council Member Sullivan.
Aye.
Council Member Swanberg.
Aye.
And Mayor Kirby.
Aye.
All right, motion passes 5-0 with one abstention. Thank you.
Moving on to regular agenda item 7D, 2021 City Council Annual Retreat. This will probably take a little bit of discussion and a lot of bit of working out here. Administrator Kruger, you want to kind of explain to our new council people what's all about entailed in this retreat? Actually, I've only been to one of these because last year we didn't really have one. So.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Kirby. Generally at the annual retreat, the main goal is for us to define what our long-term and short-term goals are. And really what we're looking for is just a list of goals that guides what city staff does for the most part over the next 2 years. So we'll have some goals for 2021 and some for 2022 that are maybe a little bit more long-term. And they generally are all tied to our comprehensive plan. So when we define a goal, we talk about what sections of the comprehensive plan those goals will help meet. And then that ensures that everything that we're doing is really linked to the comprehensive plan. So that's a very important planning document that we use in almost every day with the city. So those are the major goals. What we do, we have some kind of breakout sessions as well sometimes. The format, we have to talk about that and how we're going to handle it, being that we're in this pandemic, to see what we feel comfortable with doing. But really there's breakout sessions and agenda items that are set by myself and city council members and the mayor. You know, generally some large important topics that we just do a deep dive into and talk about and really help guide what we're going to do for the next couple of years. You know, last year, as Mayor Kirby alluded to, we ended up having it as a multi-part series where we added an agenda item to the regular agenda, regular city council meetings throughout the year, the beginning of the year, where we could do some sort of like kind of breakout for each of the departments. So likely it'll be a similar format as far as, you know, each department kind of giving an update as far as what they have going on. And it's heavily, you know, public services department's the largest department that we have, and that's generally a couple-hour discussion about just what's going on in that department, what projects we have on the near and far horizons, and, you know, anything we need to have a good conversation about, you know, and then ultimately that'll lead into our goal setting. So it's generally about a 6-hour session. We have, you know, coffee and some breakfast and snacks brought in. And we have a lunch brought in, and then we're generally wrapped up by 3 o'clock. I think I'm kind of the facilitator for these, to get this done. So it's pretty informal, but, you know, we have a pretty hefty agenda generally. We also invite board and commission members to come in for their various kind of sections, or if there's a topic that's related to the planning commission or EDA or something like that. You know, we would bring them in and invite them in. So it's a good thing to do. It really sets the table for the year, and you know, really for the next 2 years, it kind of sets the table for what city staff and city council do. The couple of questions that we need to discuss and get some direction on is, what kind of format do we want to do? You know, a socially distanced in person. You know, this would limit the members of the public that would be able to come. We would record this type of event, likely hold it in the fire hall like we've done in the past, so that we have the ability to space out a little bit more. But really, we try to control the people that would be in there. It would still be a public meeting. It would be broadcast online, similar to what we're doing right now. So, you know, members of the public could view and listen in on what we're talking about as well. So it'd be kind of a hybrid, or we could just do another option would be a strictly virtual meeting, similar to what we have. Now, I think we all understand, you know, there's some issues, and it's kind of cumbersome at times to hold these virtual meetings, especially a 6-hour long virtual meeting. That would be a challenge in itself. So I think we have to have a discussion about format, or I'd solicit a discussion about format. And then just I threw out some dates, and, you know, these dates work for myself to go on a Saturday. So I guess I started there, and then we can see if they work with any of your schedules. So what I'm basically looking for is just some direction as far as where we want to go as far as the format, and that can be done via motion, and that would give me clear direction. So the intent is to have a discussion about this, and I can chime in if there's any questions that you have for me.
Administrator Krugel, are these voting things, items that we're gonna, I mean, as far as distance or online, do we got to vote on that, or is that something we just come up with as something we all decide on?
Yeah, I think so. Mayor Kirby, I think just for clarity, I think if the discussion is leaning one way, if somebody makes a motion to say we want to have a socially distanced in-person meeting on February 20th, that'd be the motion, and that would give me clear direction on what we should do.
Mayor, if I may, this is Councilmember Krogman. May I speak to this?
Yeah, please.
Okay. I've had a considerable amount of experience with online meetings, and I can tell you that if you try to do a 6-hour online meeting, even with breaks, it's going to be very difficult. It's very hard to do this for long periods of time. On the other hand, I'm also concerned that I don't think we should be meeting together in a closed space. We have a challenge there with the public because they should be given access. If we do it at the fire hall, I'm not sure we'd have the ability to properly produce a hybrid meeting where we're meeting in person and others are trying to attend remotely. So I have a suggestion that I just throw out there for discussion. I would suggest that we wait, first of all, until after we have a new council member, so all 7 of us are involved, and that we aim for February the 6th or the 20th and have a 3-hour online meeting with 10-minute breaks on after each hour, after the first 2 hours. So we'd have 1 hour, a 10-minute break, 50 minutes, 10-minute break, another 50 minutes. And then we pick up all the remaining material, putting them as a part of future council meetings. So again, it would be essentially a 3-hour meeting on the 6th or the 20th of February online with some appropriate breaks so that we can perform correctly and think straight. And then we pick up any other business with future meetings of the council, which likely will still be COVID related, therefore online.
That sounds like a good compromise to me, Councilmember Krogman. So you're recommending, say that one more time, you're recommending February 6th, do it for 3 hours online?
Yes, with appropriate breaks, we say. And then any other business that needs to be done, we pick up at future council meetings as we did last year. We could do one item over 3, or it depends on how much remains as the administrator and you plan the sessions.
I kind of like that. It's a good compromise. I like that. So if we could find, if everybody can find February 6th or maybe February 20th, one of those dates is a date to get online, and then we'll do this city council annual retreat, is get as far into it as we can. And then if there's some things we haven't covered, we'll just put it on as an agenda item at future meetings. Correct?
That would be my proposal. And again, I certainly want to wait till we get the new council members. So perhaps we could just poll people and see who's available. But if this plan were to work, everybody should be available. So maybe we just go down the list and say who's available the 6th and the 20th, and try to find a date, make sure everybody's available on one of those dates, if not both.
We want to kind of table this item for the time being until we have a new council person?
I wouldn't table it. I think you could solve it tonight.
Set a date.
If I may, Mayor Kirby, and if I could chime in, I know sometimes calendars are not right in front of your face. I think what we could do is if we're agreeable on the format, there could be a motion for that, and then what I could do is send out a doodle poll to City Council and get the dates that either February 6th or February 20th that works for them, and then I can just set that as a meeting date at that time. So we don't have to compare calendars and things like that right now. But I think honestly the format, if that's what we want to shoot for, I think that's the most important part of this.
Mayor Kirby, Member Sullivan.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say I like the format, the suggestion by Councilmember Krogman. I would agree with that. But if we're gonna drop it down to a 3-hour window, does it have to be a Saturday? I guess would be my question.
Well, no, I don't think it necessarily needs to be a Saturday, but then you're kind of dealing with schedules for the rest of the council here. I know a lot of people have other things going on in the evenings of the weekdays.
I was just throwing it out there. I mean, obviously my work schedule is weekends, so that's my time, but I'll make whatever works as always.
As is mine. I work a lot of weekends also. I would entertain whatever everybody can, whatever either night or weekend somebody can find some time to participate in this.
Mr. Mayor Kirby, this is Krogman. So everybody understands the doodle poll is simply a way to poll everybody. You give people various days and they tell you whether they're available. Or you could even have it to be they could be available if need be. So it's not their preference, but they could do it if they had to. So what Councilmember Sullivan's suggesting, we could have this doodle poll include sometimes other than Saturdays and see how it would work for people.
Mayor Kirby, if I may chime in, I think that'd be good. I don't see any issue with it starting at, let's say, 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, and going till 8 or 9. I know that's a late night, but I can come up with various options, and just poll the city council members to see what works.
That sounds good. Why don't we move that direction, if you don't mind putting a poll together, Administrator Kugel, and we'll move forward from there.
Very good. And just a point of clarity is, are we good with that format? It sounds like there's no objections to that. So we'll just plan on doing the 3-hour online meeting with 10-minute breaks after the first hour. And I'll try to find a date that works for everybody.
That sounds good. This isn't a voting issue?
Nope, I think the direction's clear unless anybody objects to that. I think it's clear.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very good.
With that, wonderful. With that, we move on to the adjournment. So at this time, I'll entertain any motions for an adjournment. I think tonight, being we got 2 council members, I'll let one of the 2 of them make a motion for adjournment.
So moved, Swanberg.
Seconded.
Thank you. We've had a motion for adjournment. It's been seconded. We need to take a vote on that, or is that just a general vote we can do?
Generally, you can just do all in favor. That's fine.
Wonderful. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate you all tuning in tonight, and I appreciate you bearing with me with my first meeting here. You all have a good night. Thank you, Jasper.
Thank you.
See you, gentlemen.
Yeah, bye.